Top five. Top five. Tough luck to anybody else that wants to do breakfast.
When you allow yourself to be surprised, you can often find new perspectives, adventures, and connections. As simple as it may be, Doubting Thomas provided all that when I was just looking for a great breakfast burrito. What I found as well was one-of-a-kind pastries, delicious coffee, and a chef whose faith and passion for food has left a lasting impact on me.
I would always pick up the LA Times, and I knew that the food section would come out every Wednesday. So that was my favorite section, and I would learn all about the restaurants and the ongoings of the LA food scene. There were maybe two renowned chefs, Wolfgang Puck and Claude Segal, and I went knocking on the door of Claude Segal. He had an espresso in one hand and a cigarette in the other, and back then it was okay to be smoking indoors. And I asked him if I can stage for him, which means to apprentice for him. And he said, why not come in on Monday? And I said, but on Monday you're closed. So I thought he was pulling my leg, but he was like, no, it's Valentine's Day, we'll be open. That was my foot in the door into the industry.
I had my first set of knives when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I grew up in a small rural town in Connecticut. Baling hay and moving bulls was our first job, me and my two brothers. My Asian side of the family is from Seoul, Korea, and they moved to Bangkok, which then owned one of the #1 traditional Korean restaurants for 30 plus years in Bangkok.
I was a pastry chef for Gino Angelini for a year, and he's very close to my heart. He's one of my favorite chefs. And then I opened Salt's Cure with Chris Phelps. And then what happened was the third wave coffee explosion. I ended up building pastry programs for different third wave coffee companies. I fell in love with coffee, and I decided that I wanted to open up my own coffee bar. We source all of our ingredients locally, as close to home base as possible, whether it be Santa Barbara County, San Diego County, Ojai.
The beautiful part about this restaurant is it's owned by Korean women, and it's fantastic. And we have such beautiful culture, food, tradition, and it does wave in between Hispanic culture with the flavors and everything. It pairs really well. So I grew up fermenting, jarring, canning, everything as a farm kid. So we do all that here. I'm able to do traditional Korean kimchi and ongis that we ship from Korea to here. Our jams and jellies, we do all in-house.
I think there is a theme of making things from scratch in an unrushed way. We were handed these incredible ingredients by the farmers, and you want to honor those ingredients. You want to honor the skill of the farmer. For example, our croissanto, we feed the starter the day before. We mix the dough, and then we laminate the dough. It's basically a 3-day process.
This is the first kitchen that I've been able to run fully and have open ability to put something on the menu. She's welcomed all of the food that I bring. Very sweet, charismatic, laugh about everything. Even in a sour situation, she finds the light in it. Now I'm able to, in my 30s in this major city, still carry my traditions as a kid into an adult life, which is great.
When you walk into any home, you witness that the culture of that home is set by the mom, the wife, the sister, the women. We have so much power. I would love to see women to own that power.
Thank you so much for joining in on our stories here at Only Where to Eat. We really appreciate everyone that tunes in. So if you can, provide a like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with anybody that you know that loves food, whether that even might be a stranger. We really appreciate it, and we can't wait to show you more of the stories of the food culture here in LA. Naomi, I'm extremely excited to be here. Thank you so much for joining us on Where to Eat. I was shocked at how unique and how flavorful and how delicious everything was. So please, can we know what's going into your decisions when you're making it, such as the passion fruit pie?
It all starts with the farmers and what's available, what's peaking during that time. Right now it's citrus, it's March. In June it'll be stone fruits. So it's always fun to work with what's delicious. And we live, again, in the promised land, California. So there's just so much to work with. There's just so much inspiration.
And what caught me off guard when I was eating the passion fruit was the graham cracker crust that's also with macadamia, right?
Yes.
Sensational.
We make the dough from scratch, but with some milk, honey, homemade brown sugar, wheat flour. We let the dough rest overnight. The next day we sheet it out, we bake it off, we grind it, we put it through a food processor. We toss it with some butter, and then we make the shells.
The way that I found out about this place was I was looking for a breakfast burrito. Undoubtedly, if you're in the area, you need to come get the Doubtless Burrito. Can you please walk us through this creation?
Well, when I opened down in Thomas, I knew that I wanted a phenomenal breakfast burrito. I always love a runny yolk in my breakfast burrito. It almost becomes like the sauce.
I agree.
I love carnitas. I grew up in LA, and that's one of my favorite proteins is just carnitas. I love it packed with cilantro and onions and potatoes, and we serve it with tomatillo salsa. And then we've been testing some different hot sauces out. Right now it's the strawberry habanero hot sauce. But that's it's a secret off-menu item.
Okay.
You'll have to ask for it.
Okay, great. You see that? I don't understand why people don't like their eggs a little bit runny, because it is just like a sauce for Okay, here we go. I've had this one before. Never in my life would I try a strawberry hot sauce, but we're here.
Be careful, it's spicy.
Okay. The strawberry cuts right through. You taste that, and you taste the spice. Wow. Wow. This is incredible.
Thank you.
A lot of people do pancakes, but they all kind of taste the same. Could you please walk us through your version of the 7-grain pancakes?
Well, this is inspired by 2 places. The Big Sur Bakery, they have a 7-grain, it's like a Dutch-style pancake. And then, of course, Salt's Cure, which is a big part of my heart. I opened Salt's Cure with Zach Walters and Chris Phelps. And Chris Phelps' mother's recipe made it into the menu, and it became a huge hit. It was the oatmeal pancakes. It was more of a crepe-style pancake. It was just so delicious and comforting. And so I combined those 2, and voila.
This. You're not playing fair, as I like to say. Because again, this could go down as literally one of the best pancakes in Los Angeles. What I like about it is it's super soft, and then the fact that I do get that crunch still from the edge.
That's my favorite part.
Yes. Really, 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 really good. Really good. People are gonna think that I'm making this up. No, I'm not making this up. Tough luck to anybody else that wants to do breakfast. We have Eddie here, the head chef of the kitchen. And then we have Naomi here, who's going to break down this incredible collaboration between the 2 of them that they're adding to the menu here. I've been coming here over a year. I haven't seen anything quite like this anywhere, actually, as a matter of fact. So please, if you could break down what exactly is this almost short rib, beef cheek. Go ahead, please.
So we get the beef cheeks in, we pat them dry, we also trim any excess fat off, put them in a deep hotel pan with wine, red onions, shallots, garlic, and that'll be tossed in, covered at 200 degrees for about 3 to 4 hours.
Nice.
While that's going on for about 2 to 3 hours, we also smoke shallots, garlic, celery root, potatoes, and that's our puree. And then we have shaved carrots that we fry. You have pea tendrils, and then we have a poached egg with a French carrot tapas too.
Well, it goes hard. Seriously, really, really good. Thank you so much for breaking it down.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Oh, talk about perfect timing. Thank you, Eddie. So we have this monstrous, beautiful chicken sandwich.
Well, it's chicken brines in an Earl Grey tea
Oh, okay.
brine. And then it's topped with a celery root slaw, celery root apple slaw, tossed with some kimchi that we make here, and a homemade bun.
You guys are definitely. I think you guys found something there. This is incredible. God. Naomi, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so thankful for meeting you. Again, this is one of my favorite places. It kind of kills me that I have to tell people, but you know, it's all a part of Only Where to Eat. So thank you so much for featuring Doubting Thomas. We wish you all the best. From the fried chicken that you guys are introducing, the fried chicken sandwich, to the beef cheeks, to the pancakes, to the breakfast burrito, the pastries, everything here is done extremely, extremely well, and I cannot thank you enough.
Thank you so much, Jamel. Today was so fun. The pleasure was all ours.